everyone. I am so glad you're here. Welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Mel, and this is for the tender hearts, astrology and tarot for sensitive souls, empaths, and deep feelers. Today, I want to talk about something that showed up in a reading this week that honestly gave me chills in the best way because I think it's speaking to a shift that's starting this weekend. And if you've been feeling like you've been walking through a fog, like you can't quite see what's real or what's true, like you've been second guessing everything, this one's for you. So let me tell you what I did. I created a new spread. I pulled out two decks and I'm using them in a special way. One is going to represent what's happening in the front of the mind, this deck. That's our conscious layer and what we're aware of. And then the second is to represent what's happening in the back of the mind, the subconscious, what's moving beneath the surface that we might not even realize yet. I shuffled the cards, I meditated, and I did a poll. And let me tell you what I've got here. In the front of the mind, I pulled the moon reversed, the ace of pentacles upright, the king of wands reversed, the two of swords upright, and the page of swords in reverse. And then in the back of the mind, the subconscious layer, I got the king of cups in reverse, the seven of swords upright. Then I got the moon reversed again in the deepest subconscious position. And then the nine of cups upright. Now I want you to notice something really significant here. The moon reversed showed up twice. Once in the conscious layer and once in the subconscious layer. That's our headline. That's our main message. The moon reverse is about illusions lifting. It's about mental fog clearing. It's about that disorientating, confusing, like you don't know what's real anymore kind of feeling that's finally starting to dissolve. And when it shows up in both layers, the conscious and the subconscious, what it's telling us is that clarity is coming from every direction at once. This isn't surface level shit. It's, oh, I figured something out. This is deep soul knowing, rising up to meet your conscious awareness. This is seeing clearly from the inside out and the outside in at the same time. For those of us who are highly sensitive, who feel everything, who process deeply, the moon energy can be especially destabilizing because we're already picking up on so much. We're feeling into the uncertainty, the multiple realities, the things people aren't saying, the energy beneath the surface. And when the moon is upright, all of that gets amplified to the point where we don't know what's ours and what's someone else's, and what's intuition and what's anxiety, what's real and what's projection. But reversed, like we're getting, that fog is lifting. The confusion is clearing. You're finally starting to see what's been true all along. And here's what I love about this spread right now. In your conscious awareness, you've got the Ace of Pentacles. That's a new beginning in the material world. So something tangible, something real, something you can actually touch and build on. This isn't just spiritual clarity. This is clarity that gets to manifest into your actual life. New opportunities, solid foundations, real world results. But you've also got this King of Wands reversed in the conscious layer, which tells me that that leadership energy, that vision casting, that let's make this go energy has either been burned out or gotten scattered. Maybe you've been pushing too hard. Maybe you've been trying to force something into form before it's ready. And the Two of Swords here, sitting there, tells me that you're in a pause. You're at a decision point, but you're choosing to wait. You're choosing to sit with it, and that's pretty wise. Because underneath that Page of Swords in the reverse position, there's information that hasn't fully come through yet. There's communication that's blocked or immature thinking that needs to settle. And you're waiting because you're smart enough to know that you don't have all the pieces yet. Now look what's happening in the back of the mind, in the subconscious layer. We got the King of Cups reverse. That tells me that Your emotional mastery, that deep, compassionate wisdom that you carry, is either wavering right now or you're protecting yourself by not fully accessing it. And honestly, for sensitive souls like us, sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we have to put the healer energy down for a minute and just be human. The Seven of Swords, the second card that showed up here. It's interesting because that card is about a strategy, working alone, taking what's yours. Look at that imagery, right? It's about it's telling me that you might be executing a plan that you haven't fully admitted to yourself yet. Or you're reclaiming something. That could be your energy, your time, your resources, your power, but you're doing it quietly. Then we've got our central theme here, the moon reversed. I think I already talked about this earlier, but this is our double confirmation here that illusions are clearing on every level. And then in the deepest subconscious position, we've got the Nine of Cups, the wish fulfillment card. So your soul already knows this is happening. Your deepest self already knows you're getting what you truly want. There's this quiet confidence underneath everything, even in your conscious mind. Even if your conscious mind is still in the pause of the Two of Swords, there's this confidence that's beginning to build. So here's what I think this weekend shift is about and why the timing is so significant. We just had the Gemini full moon on December 4th, right? Remember that reading that we did about the great musician at his piano? I think the reading was called You Already Know the Piece. It was teaching us about trusting what we already know by heart. And now we're moving into this powerful week of transits that are literally clearing the fog and bringing breakthrough clarity. On December 8th, Mars squares Saturn. That's your energy, your action energy hitting a wall of reality. So if you've been pushing, this is where you feel the resistance. But here's what's beautiful, that resistance is pushing you to a pause, which is exactly what the Two of Swords in this reading is showing you. You've been slowed down on purpose. Then on the 10th, Mercury opposes Uranus. That's that lightning bolt energy, that sudden insight, that unexpected information, your mind moving quickly, more fast than you can possibly track. And that's when the pieces start clicking into place that didn't make sense before. Revolutionary thinking here. It's breaking through old patterns. But the day I want you to really focus on is the 11th. Mercury trines Neptune at the exact degree where both planets are transitioning. Mercury is moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius, and Neptune is at the last degree of Pisces. This is the most spiritually potent day of the week. I'm getting chills. Your intuition will be crystal clear, creative downloads flowing, and the veil between your conscious mind and your subconscious wisdom is super thin. This moon reversed manifesting in real time, the fog lifting, clarity arriving, means your soul's truth is becoming visible. Then on December 14th, Mars squares Neptune. So we have action meeting confusion. This is why you're in this pause of the Two of Swords right now, because you've tried to force movement before the clarity actually completes itself. And you're pushing through the fog. But by the 14th, after that Mercury Neptune trine has done its job, you'll know the difference between confusion and divine timing. So that fog that's been surrounding you, it's maybe been there for weeks, maybe even months. It's starting to lift this weekend. And it's being supported by actual planetary movements. The astrology is backing up what the cards are showing. And as it lifts, you're going to start seeing clearly what's real, what's true, and what's actually yours to do. That Ace of Pentacles, it says something tangible gets to land. That Nine of Cups says your soul already knows it's good. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. All my hairs are standing up. The pause that you're in right now with the Two of Swords, that's sacred. You're not stuck. You're not avoiding. You're waiting for complete clarity, and it's coming. The moon reverse on both levels tells you it's already happening. And if you're a sensitive soul who's been feeling confused, who's been second guessing yourself and wondering if you're seeing things clearly, this weekend, trust what starts to become visible. Trust what starts to build. Trust what starts to feel solid. Trust the fog lifting. Your sensitivity isn't making you confused. Your sensitivity has been trying to navigate a genuinely confusing energy. And now that energy is lifting, it's clearing, and you're about to see what you've been sensing all along. On December 11th, I want you to highlight that day on your calendar. When the veil is the thinnest, when your intuition speaks the loudest, when soul knowing breaks into your conscious awareness, pay attention to what comes through that day. Write it down, okay? And trust it. I'm sending so much love to your tender heart. Trust what you're seeing, friends. Trust what's becoming clear, and trust that something real and beautiful is landing. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.